You can't wear jewelries. You can't wear trousers. You can't wear bone-foot topless. You cannot paint your lips or paint your fingers. You can't do long bangles and earrings. Not because those things are sinful, but because those things are going to make you remain in ordination. God is saying there's a generation of teenagers I want to build through you. It is only restricted to you. I want them to really visit the patriarchs. I want them to visit the ancient landmark. And because I want them to have an image in the generation, I don't want the particles and the picture of the ancient Christianity to wipe out on this Gen Z. And God says, I'm sending you to change the narration. But to do that, this is not sinful, but you won't do it. There are many believers who are not sinners, but are not consecrated. And the truth of the matter is this: every ordination has a consecration. And if you do not know the consecration of your ordination and walk in it, you will still fail in life and destiny. As we are seated here, we all have our different consecrations.
This is getting deeper, sir. My understanding about consecration was just read and doing away with sin.
One of the characteristics of consecration is that you cannot say yes to all good things. When you begin to rise in ordination with God, there are some constraints that God put on your life to make you succeed in ordination. If you are Samson, don't cut your hair. Don't visit the barber. You need long hairs to remain in ordination. Others can cut theirs. It's not a sin for them, but you must not do it to remain in ordination. After now, I'm going to show you an example to explain this area of consecration well.
Wow. Sir, I am seeing consecration in a new light. I don't know my consecration aside living a life of purity.
There is something we call believers' generic consecration. And that is all men must be saved and come to the knowledge of the truth. And that's purity is a major point under the generic based consecration. So everyone must be pure, and that's unnegotiable. This one is general for all Christians. Purity is a must. And in Hebrews 12:1, he said, let's lay aside two things. He said, first, every sin and every weight. That is, when you say, I'm not a sinner, I've laid aside all sin, you are correct and you are right. We thank God for your life. What about the weight? There are two things to lay aside: the weight and the sin. Many believers have been able to lay sin down. They have passed the test of purity, but they've not been able to lay weight down. You lay down sin alone, you are not consecrated. You must lay down weight. And this weight may not necessarily be sinful. No. It's that God intentionally put those things in you to make you to remain. God can be calling somebody to say, okay, I'm sending you as a sexual purity ambassador. I'm sending you to the teenagers to mentor them how to live and be sexually pure. And indeed, that's the ordination of whoever the person has called. And God will now tell you, because of that, you can't wear jewelries, you can't wear trousers, you can't wear bone-foot topless, you cannot paint your lips or paint your fingers, you can't do long bangles and earrings. Not because those things are sinful, but because those things are going to make you remain in ordination. God is saying there's a generation of teenagers I want to build through you. It is only restricted to you. I want them to really visit the patriarchs. I want them to visit the ancient landmark. And because I want them to have an image in the generation, I don't want the particles and the picture of the ancient Christianity to wipe out on this Gen Z. And God says, I'm sending you to change the narration. But to do that, this is not sinful, but you won't do it. So when you find yourself struggling with that instruction, when you find yourself telling yourself, it's not a sin, it's not a sin, my pastor does it, everyone does it, it's not a sin, you are not ready to walk in ordination. Because those things are the thing you must lay away. They are weights. You must drop them down for ordination. That's why a Christian and you are not a sinner is not the point. But to succeed in ordination, find out what are the other instructions that keep you in ordination.
Jesus. Holy Spirit, help me.
And this issue is so serious in the heart of God that God can be so meticulous about your life that He can even restrain you to have some number of children. He can tell you, for this your ordination, I'm not seeing you having 4 children. I'm only seeing you having 2. The moment you say, why will I have 2? I'm a millionaire, I'm a billionaire. Why will I have 2? No, I must have one. The moment you have the 3rd one, that person will come and ruin your ordination. That child will ruin you because the ordination and your consecration have told you that this is the number of children you must have. For instance, you can be a financial apostle. And God tells you, as a financial apostle who is sent to the nations to finance big kingdom assignments, you will not pay tithe. You will pay tithe times 3. While others are paying 10%, you will pay 30%. So if you are still struggling with tithe is not for Christian, tithe is Old Testament, as a financial apostle, you won't walk in the ordination of that office. Why? Because you are not obeying the consecration of paying that tithe. And when God says pay times 3 of that tithe, He's doing something to you. He's doing, what can you lay down?
Sir, you are actually referring to me, sir. I have been trying to pay multiple tithes. I have been trying to empty my accounts, but I've been struggling with this. And I know I'm called to be a kingdom financier.
Those instructions and consecrations are pathways to you fulfilling your ordination in life. When God begins to touch some things in your life, it's because He knows you are attached to those things. When He begins to touch, don't do this, stop this one, it's because He knows there's an attachment to it. And if you're not ready to lay them down as weight, you will not succeed in ordination. What can you lay down to fulfill purpose? It's beyond leaving sin or laying aside sin. There are things to lay down. What can you lay down? Spiritual men who have journeyed in this realm, they understand what I'm saying. When we ask you as a believer and we ask you and say, what are the consecration aligned to you? If you say you don't have any, no, you are not consecrated yet. We thank you are a believer, you are not consecrated yet.
God, help me. Help me. Jesus, help me. I am still so much far from these spiritual works.
When God is making a demand on your life, there's something He's doing to your heart. Sometimes He can tell you an instruction and tell you, you must fast 15 days every month or pray 2 hours every night. It's not a sin not to do it. But if you do not align to it, you will not grow in ordination. These are things you must do.
Sir, I said I will ask you, are the children your ordination?
Sit. Yes, it's my ordination. The Lord sent me to the children, the teenagers, and the young adults to heal the brokenhearted, to preserve the generation that are coming ahead. And let me tell you the truth, every lifting you see in my life today came as a result of that ordination, backed up with consecration. And there are many consecrations that are backing up this ordination. For instance, I must visit the orphanage every month to be a blessing to them, especially those with special needs. It's not must, it's a cause for me not to go. That's what keeps me in this office. I must visit them every month. Another thing is that every year, I must adopt a child. I must go to the orphanage and adopt 1 child every year. It is something I must do to keep me in this office that you see that I'm doing there. It's compulsory for me to do that every year. You see, and if you look at this ministry well, hope you know the hatred the devil has for children. Look at what he did. When he knew Jesus was born, that same day, the devil created a buffer of 2 years. He said, kill every children. He created a long buffer so that there will be no mistake. So if God is now calling you to now preserve that kind of generation, those who want to be hell raisers, if you don't align with the consecration necessary, you will fail. You fail in that ministry.
Sir, what if you want to marry? Will your spouse allow you to do this kind of ministry, knowing the attention it will take?
Yes, sir. And how do you get money to run all these things? Or do they pay to stay here?
That is why it's very important to know your ordination before you get married. And so it is dangerous for you to marry without knowing your ordination. Because your ordination and purpose will determine who you marry. And because of that, your consecration will now be that you will not marry the person you like. You already like Sister Shadi. She has an angelic voice. Sister Shadi has good height and good complexion. She can speak well. Yes. And she's not a bad person. But unfortunately, your ordination cannot adopt Sister Shadi. So because of that, you may now end up marrying Sister Dara, who may not be your spec. But because she is the one sent for your ordination, you have to align and stay there. And a sneak peek for sisters too. When sisters are trying to marry a brother, they should remember they are not marrying a brother. They are not marrying a man. They are marrying his ordination. And that is why the sister must know the ordination of the man to know if she is able to feature in that ordination. And so because of that, you must know your ordination before you go to marriage at all. And as per the money, when you walk in ordination and consecration, provisions will meet you there. Everything, the blessings of God will meet you there.
What are the things I need to lay down? I mean, what are the weights I need to bring down? Please, sir, list them. I have been struggling to lay them down.
It's God that will answer that question. But then I want to just show you something. Let's Leo.